What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and we're going to do a little bit of a reaction video here. You know, with all the negative nonsense going on out there and all the talk about Biden and Trump and this and that, you know what I see? I see a lot of backwards looking thinking. And I personally am hungry. I'm hungry for forward looking thinking, right? And this guy, Vivek Ramaswamy, has burst onto the scene. And I just love everything he's saying. I don't agree with every single thing, but man, this guy loves this country. He's young, he's articulate, he's wise, he's been in business, he's an outsider. He understands what's wrong with this country, especially the bureaucracy, these unelected officials who are really running the country, right? These people that we didn't elect who are making decisions that are affecting our day-to-day life. This is crazy, and he understands it. And this speech that he just gave recently in Georgia is one that everybody should see, because the media only talks about Trump and Biden. They're not talking about anybody else, and we have a winner here. We have like what I look at as the next generation here, and we got to put the spotlight, I should say, on this guy because he deserves it. Check out this speech while I react to it with you.
Thank you. It's good to be in Georgia. I wish it were under happier circumstances, to be honest with you. I am running for the GOP nomination for U.S. President. I'm the first millennial ever to run for president as a Republican. Thank you. And I just have to speak honestly with all of you to say that the way I want to win this election is by convincing the people of this country to vote for me, not by having some corrupt federal government try to stop my competitor in this race from running against me. That is not America. That is not the America I learned to pledge allegiance to as a kid. We are not some banana republic where the party in power uses the police to arrest its political opponents. We are going to finally end that corrupt administrative police state in America, starting with the FBI, and I just wanted to open this speaking that truth for what it is. Thank you. I'll speak to you as a member of my generation today. Okay, you try asking somebody my age. I was born in 1985. I'm 37. You try asking somebody my age, what does it mean to be an American today? You get a blank stare in response. It's like a deer in the headlights. That's the vacuum at the heart of our national soul. We're in the middle of a national identity crisis. Faith, patriotism, hard work, family. These things have disappeared, only to be replaced by wokeness, gender ideology, COVIDism, the climate cult. We are hungry for a cause. We're hungry for purpose and meaning and identity. We hunger to be part of something bigger than ourselves, yet we cannot even answer what it means to be an American today. Tell you what I see in the country. We're like a bunch of blind bats flying around in some dark cave, trying to figure out where we are. You know how a bat figures out where it is? Sends out a sonar signal, bounces off the wall, it comes back, it says, this is where I am. We human beings, especially people my age, we do the same thing. We send out a signal, it bounces off of my family. The two parents, my mother and father, who brought me into this world. The children who I brought into this world with my wife. That is true. That is real. That means something to me. That bounces back. It tells me this is where I am. Send out a signal. It bounces off my belief in God. My faith is real. That is true. That means something to me. It bounces back. Tells me this is where I am. Send out a signal. It bounces off of my conviction in this nation, that I'm a citizen of the United States of America, not some global citizen somewhere else. I'm a citizen of this nation. That bounces back. It says, this is where I am. What happens when those things disappear? We send out these signals, and then nothing comes back. It's an old expression. They say if there's a hole the size of God in your heart and God does not fill it, something else will instead. The same can be said of belief in a nation. This is our moment in the conservative movement to rise up, to level up, to say that we're done running from something. Now it's time to start running to something. What does it mean to be an American? I'm a George Washington, America First conservative. That's what it means. He was the OG of the America First movement. It started in 1776. We live in a 1776 moment today. To put America first, we have to rediscover what America is. You want to know what it means to be an American? It means we believe in the ideals of the American Revolution. I am an American nationalist. I will not apologize for it. It means we believe in the Constitution. It means we believe in the Declaration of Independence. It means we believe in meritocracy, free speech, the pursuit of excellence, open debate, the rule of law in this country, that you get to come in through the front door, not the back door. That's what it means to have a border in this country. It means the people who we elect to run the government ought to be the ones who actually run the government, not some administrative bureaucracy that runs the show today. That is what it means to be an American. America is founded on the truth, the pursuit of truth. We will not apologize for truth. You want to talk truth today? Let's talk truth. God is real. There are two genders. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. An open border is no border. Reverse racism is racism. Parents determine the education of their children. The nuclear family is the best known form of governance to mankind. Capitalism is the best system known to lift people up from poverty. There are 3 branches of government in the U.S., not 4. And the U.S. Constitution is the best guarantor of freedoms in human history. These are true. That is truth, and I will not apologize for it. That is what it means to be an American. We will speak truth. We will stand up. You will not stop me from speaking it every step of the way. This is the American Revolution. This is 1776. In the moment we live in today, we the people will not be stopped in our pursuit of the truth. Thank you.
Man, this is our 1776. This is our time to be free, to fix what's going on in this country. That is powerful. Man, that is, and you can see he believes it in his bones, like he said. This is exciting to see someone like this. Just exciting. I really like this guy. Let's watch the rest.
USA. You said it. So how are we going to do it? You put me in that office, January 2033. Here's what I'm telling you. Getting a lot of false promises from a lot of people. 3 things we get done in the next 10 years, we're in good shape. First, we have to shut down the administrative state as it exists. That is the #1 objective here at home. Take a government agency that should have never existed, like the U.S. Department of Education, okay? I'm not going to tell you I'm going to reform that beast. You can't reform the beast. You have to kill it. You have to shut it down. We're done with the Department of Education. You then go over to the one we're talking about today, the FBI. This should not exist It was corrupt in 1960. The same education, the same FBI that threatened Martin Luther King Jr. with suicide as a corrupt body is now targeting Donald Trump and its political opponents today. We will not tame that beast. We will kill it. We will shut it down. This is what it means to be an American. Second thing I'll do. We will declare independence from our actual enemy. And no, that is not somewhere in Ukraine. That is communist China. That is the top threat that we face. That is the Declaration of Independence that Thomas Jefferson would have signed if he were alive today. That is the Declaration of Independence that I will sign, that we will sign as we head into our future. We cannot depend on an enemy for our modern way of life. If that had been a Russian spy balloon flying over half the United States, you know what we would have done? We'd have shot it down and ratcheted up the sanctions against Russia. You want to know why we didn't do it against China? Because we're addicted to them, and we have a president in the White House who is owned by our enemy. So we got to fix that. We're addicted to the fentanyl that they're pumping across our southern border. We're addicted to the digital fentanyl that they're putting in our kids' hands in the form of TikTok. We're addicted to the financial fentanyl that they use to fund our national debt. We are done with that addiction, and I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to get real with you. I'm not going to make a false promise. If we want to declare independence from our enemy, it's going to involve some short-run sacrifice, some short-run inconvenience. I will not speak falsehood to you. Now, you can make a sacrifice if you know what you're sacrificing for. By the way, when you're willing to make a sacrifice, that's when you don't have to make one at all. A little bit more Churchill, a little less Chamberlain in our foreign policy, okay? A little bit of a spine when you're sitting across the table from Xi Jinping. But we can make that sacrifice if we know what we're sacrificing for. And that is this thing we call America. That's the third thing I'm going to do for you, is revive civic pride in this country, where 10 years from now, we will be proud to be an American again. We have to be. Young Americans through the country today, I guess, speak some truth to you. Less than 16% of Gen Z says they are proud to be American. We have a 25% recruitment deficit in the U.S. military. 2 weeks ago, 60% of young Americans in a survey said that they would sooner give up their right to vote than to give up their access to TikTok. I'm not making this up. This would be funny if it weren't true. So whatever it is, we're going to have to think big, get beyond the identity politics that teaches us that we're to be judged on the color of our skin rather than the content of our character. That's why I'm ending affirmative action in America. We're done with it. It's a cancer on our national soul. But we got to be willing to do the hard things. I'm going to go further with you. And you know what? Everybody in here doesn't have to agree with me on this to vote for me. I'm just going to speak truth. I favor a constitutional amendment in this country that would take the voting age from 18 to 25, but still allow you to vote at age 18 if you either serve the country in the military or the police, or you pass the same civics test that every immigrant has to pass to become a voting citizen of this country. I am a nationalist, and I will not apologize for the ideals that this nation was founded on. I will not apologize for the Declaration of Independence. I will not apologize for our Constitution.
You can't tame the beast. You gotta kill it. What a statement about these three-letter government agencies that have just expanded with way too much power over our lives. DOD, DOJ, FBI, SEC, the alphabet boys, as Keenan Grace like to talk about. They're too powerful. You can't tame a corrupt, powerful beast like that. You need to kill it. Nobody else is talking about this but Vivek Ramaswamy. This guy is a superstar. He's a superstar. Even if he doesn't win this year, but I think he has a real good shot once he gets on these debate stages. If you ever watch him debate Don Lemon and some of these other guys, because he goes on CNN, he goes on MSNBC, and Fox. Let's face it, Fox is not a conservative place, right? But I guess they're as close as you're going to get to an independent news source. Well, and I guess, but look what they're doing to Tucker, silencing him. Newsmax is good too. But he goes on all these, and he'll debate with whoever he's talking with. He won't stand for things that are not true. He'll call it out and say, hey, wait a second, that's not true. Here's what's actually happening. And he does it precisely. He doesn't ramble on. This guy is a star. We should be talking about him more. Let's see what happens after the debates, because this is going to be real interesting to see him up there. Really, really interesting. Let me know what you think about Vivek Ramaswamy. I'll catch you in the next one.